We're finished. Okay. Here we go. Hi, I'm Steve Thompson, president of Emery Thompson Machine.
I'm Christi Brown, vice president of sales and marketing.
And
this is Sammy.
And Sammy. And Stella's over here on the floor, but she's not being social at the moment. Welcome to Questions Answered. I've got a good one. It's the middle of August right now. It's hot. It's been terribly hot this summer all over the country. So I thought it's a good time to talk about snow and winter and freezing. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
I don't know about that. I still like my beaches. Don't take my margarita for your pumpkin latte yet.
Well, that is why we moved to Florida.
Yeah.
We're only a beach away. But those of you who are a seasonal business, you'll be closing down maybe around Thanksgiving, a little before, a little after, but closing down for the winter and coming on down here to sunny Florida for the winter months until you open back up in late March. Don't forget your equipment. You have equipment in the store that is water cooled. That's how you cool the engine of the machine. And your Emery Thompson, if it's a floor model, could very well be water cooled. You might have a soft ice cream machine that's also water cooled. An ice cube maker, that's supplying water. All these items need to have that water line that supplies into the machine blown out with forced air so that it doesn't freeze in the middle of winter and destroy the machine. So what I'm going to show you is very important. It's very quick. Christy's going to put up a picture right now of the back of the Emery Thompson 24-quart machine, and I'm going to show you what that water valve is about, and I'm going to describe to you briefly just how to do it. If you have any questions, you want to get it right, just give us a call. Or if you're really concerned, call in a refrigeration company and let them do all your equipment. But that's the water valve that you saw in the back of the machine. And this spring here keeps the water from going into the machine until our machine tells it to open up a bit and let a little bit of water in to cool the engine. So in order to get the water out of the machine, we're going to take a regular flathead screwdriver and see this bottom rung of the spring. We're going to put the screwdriver at the very bottom and then push down. What that has the effect of doing is there's the spring. Now we're compressing the spring. As we compress it, the water flows through the machine very quickly, and you pull your screwdriver out and it shuts it off. So instead of putting water through here, we're going to connect up forced air, a can of compressed air. Refrigeration man might use Freon because it's your bill, not his. And but some kind of forced air, we're going to put that in there, push down, and let that forced air to get through, and then it's going to blow it out the bottom end of the other pipe, and you're good for the winter. There's a screw adjustment up here. We have taken great pains to adjust this according to the pressures of the machine so that your machine will work perfectly and use the minimal amount of water. Whatever you do, don't let anybody touch that screw. No turning it, no adjusting it. Refrigeration guy says, oh, I can just tighten it down real quick and let the air flow through and then I'll bring it back up. No, you'll get it out of adjustment. So that's it. That's going to get you all set for the winter. You can start making your air travel reservations down to Key West, and on your way, don't forget to stop in Brooksville, just north of Tampa, and come visit us.
Well, off of that, I'm going to piggyback with the water question too for a 24-quart. It's not the same thing, but it's still water related. So a lot of customers reach out and they ask the questions about, floor plans in their building, and they want to put in the 24-quart water cooled, but they don't know where their water supply is going to be as of yet, or they already have finished, or they're purchasing a building with the water supply that is really far away. You know what? Doesn't matter. As long as the 24-quart, your machine gets a good supply of water, it could be 100 feet away, it could be up a wall, it could be around a corner. As long as there's no kinks and the machine gets water, that virtually can be anywhere. So when you're looking for a new store or a location or you're building out, put the water supply that's the most convenient for you, for your sinks, for you and your employees, and whichever you need, because the 24-quart can get water supply in any which direction.
Very good. It'll make it a lot easier to find a location.
Definitely, because I know that's always a big concern with customers, and we're the easy ones.
Alan wrote to me over the weekend, and he wants to know what the markup is on ice cream, or what the markup should be. It depends on your approach to what you're selling. Haagen-Dazs, for the most part, when they sell a tub of ice cream to a business, it's about a 33% markup. That seems to be the average in the industry. So if you're buying Breyers or Bluebell or some other brand that you're going to sell in your store instead of making your own, you're going to pay 33% more for the privilege. As far as your business, selling ice cream cones and cups and pints, it really comes down to what the market will bear. And what the market will bear has changed over the years. We were convinced for many years that we couldn't sell a 4-ounce cone for more than $2.25. Well, that also reflected in the ice cream we made. We were only slightly better than commercial ice creams in the supermarket. Now we use much better ingredients. We try whenever possible to go all natural, and that means we can command a higher price. So instead of $2.25 for a 4-ounce cone, the average across the country right now is increased to a 6-ounce cup instead of 4-ounce cone, or a 6-ounce cup or a 6-ounce cone, and we're getting on average $5. At $5, we are making a very, very good profit, and the customer feels that it's a fair price. On pints, it's even better. Pint sales are incredible. If you're not selling pints, you're missing out on a lot of money. Haagen-Dazs, I keep mentioning Haagen-Dazs because we put them in business along with Ben & Jerry. Haagen-Dazs on average around the country is $5.32 for a pint. My customers, Christi's customers, are getting anywhere from $8, $9, $10, even $11 a pint. So let's say the average is $9.50. You're always going to sell 2 pints, so that's that's $19 out of one customer just running in, grabbing a pint, my pint of mint chip and my wife Paula's coconut, $18. You can't beat it. So yes, your prices are going to go up. But the profits have been greater, and I'm just not seeing any pushback from the customers because you're giving them the quality that they want.
Yeah, and don't forget your cakes and pies too. You can, especially with the holidays coming up, some ice cream cakes for birthdays, for Christmas, Thanksgiving get-togethers, things like that. You can make a pumpkin ice cream pie. Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be good.
That would be perfect.
Can I just say before you start,
Sure.
and we're going to get yelled at for going over, but we'll go over today. I love ice cream cakes and pies, mainly because I'm a guy. Well, what does that have to do with it? Well, it means that after we've already cut into the pie, it's now sitting in the fridge. I can come along at 11 o'clock at night and cut off a half-inch slice, and nobody's going to notice it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it was a pint, hey, who ate all the ice cream last night? But if it's a pie, I can do a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, whatever, and I can keep doing that until we're down to the last slice. So it's a man thing, and it just worked great.
What is the max that I can put into my CB350 if I'm only running a 50% overrun? So the max you should ever put into your CB350 is about 4 quarts. If you're doing Italian ices, you can do 4 quarts and then your 2 pounds of sugar, which brings it a little bit more volume than the 4 quarts because you're adding the sugar to it. But that's okay. Why is that okay? Because there is no expansion. Italian ice is just sugar, water, and fruit, or syrup, or a base, and there is no expansion whatsoever. There's a little bit, but not enough to count. So if you're working with any type of dairy, the max you should always put is 4 quarts, no matter if you're running super premium, homemade, a gelato, a custard, doesn't matter. And it also helps with a little bit more room for inclusions too, so you've got plenty of space to add your cookies and candies and nuts and brownies. So that's the end of my second one.
All right.
I'm always so quick and simple.
This is from Ray, and he says, I have a weird question for you. Has anybody ever used the custard base in their Italian ice to make cream ices instead of standard ice cream mix? Good question.
Yeah.
Well, first off, Italian ice is sugar, water, and fruit or flavor, as Christi just said. Cream ice is sugar, water, fruit, and the addition of a little bit of either heavy cream, not a lot, or some of your ice cream base. What Ray is asking is, my ice cream base is a custard base, which means it has 1.4% egg yolk by volume. Fancy way of saying it's got egg yolks in it. It makes the ice cream a yellowish color. It makes the ice cream a little richer tasting. and it's either you like it or you don't like it. I've not heard of anybody using a custard base for a cream ice. I'm not really in favor of it because cream ice is basically just a slight offshoot of Italian ice, sugar, water, flavor. The cream ice, again, we're adding a little more cream to it. And the egg yolk is going to just confuse the flavoring. It's like putting in too many spices into a recipe. So technically, yes, you can do it. Would I do it? Only as a last resort if there was nothing else in the store. But I don't think adding a custard base or 1.4 egg yolk by volume is going to improve on your cream ice.
Cream ice is also known as, there's going to be two ways you could say it, sherbet or sherbet. I like saying sherbet, even though it's not spelled like that.
I like sherbet.
Yeah, me too.
That's what I grew up on.
Yeah, that's how I say it. My final and third question is at the end of the day, when I have assembled my 24 quart and I'm ready to close my door and put my dasher in, I have to put my hand in there and kind of push the dasher up to close it because it doesn't seem like it's aligning right. Simple fix. When you put your dasher in, you're going to rotate your dasher until your blades are at 12 and 6 o'clock. Doing that, make sure your dasher, it's making sure that your dasher is level and straight, and it's not, even if it's turned just a little to the side, it can just slightly bow down a hair, so when you go to close it, it doesn't line up properly. But putting your blades at 12 and 6 will solve your issue within like that.
I'm not quite clear on that. Are you reaching in to turn it to 12 and 6, or
Yeah, 'cause
you're
you
just
have to
grabbing
lock
it,
the
or you're just
dasher.
grabbing it from the front?
Oh, well, I take it and turn it with the dasher blade.
Just from the front.
Well, yeah, I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, we'll resolve that between ourselves and maybe discuss it next
Okay,
week.
sounds like a plan.
If you have questions for us that you'd like to see done here at Questions Answered, please contact Christi at emerythompson.com or me, Steve, at emerythompson.com.
Yeah, we're not winning today.
No, and we'll see if we can't use your question on the air. Meanwhile, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.